Well, last week we were cruising through Beverly Hills with one fast-talking and funny outsider in Beverly Hills Cop.
It was so funny.
It was funny.
And this week, we're trading detectives for downtown chaos.
That's right. What starts with one simple evening doesn't stay simple for very long.
That's right. And one unexpected night turns into a full adventure.
Adventure is right.
So if you had not guessed yet, we are going to be rewinding into Adventures in Babysitting. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Missy. And this is Real Sisters Rewind.
Join us as we go back to the 80s.
Welcome to Real Sisters Rewind. We're so glad you're here. This is the podcast where we rewind to the 80s and review the movies that my sister and I still love.
Yep, that's right. We're two sisters who grew up on these films, probably much like you, from theater nights to VHS rentals, and now we're bringing them back one movie at a time. If you're loving the podcast, we would be so grateful if you would leave us a 5-star review, subscribe, and share it with a fellow Real fan.
That's right. And don't forget, we are still sending out our Real Sisters stickers. Just take a screenshot of your review and email it to hello@realsistersrewind.com.
We love to hear from you, so please do that. All right, let's rewind back to 1987 when Adventures in Babysitting hit the big screen.
It was July 3rd, 1987, sister, when Adventures in Babysitting was released. I was 18.
And I was 10.
And do you remember, did you see this one in the theater or was it more?
I did see it in the theater.
I'm thinking we saw this one together in the theater.
Well, quite possibly. And I know I saw it in the theater, and it even makes sense that I saw it in the theater even more so because it was in the summer.
Yes.
And girl, if there was a movie to see,
you might go on a Tuesday afternoon to the movie.
Heck yeah. Especially living down in the South like us, it was hot. You just want to go somewhere where it's nice and cool.
That's true. Well, I remember seeing it and thinking that Elizabeth Shue was perhaps the prettiest girl in Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, absolutely precious. And I do definitely remember seeing it in the theater. It was one of those that I was like, remember thinking, like, I just remember as a kid being like, how are they going to get out of this?
Yes, all of those shenanigans.
Yeah, and I had not, like, seeing kids running around a big city like that was so, like, interesting to me.
Yeah, because we could walk up the gravel road.
That's right. But we didn't really have that experience.
That's right.
That was really interesting to me. All right. Well, let's move into our pop culture spotlight.
All right. At the top of the music charts that week, the number one song was by someone I so loved, still do to this day, Whitney Houston. I want to dance with somebody. Ooh. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Ooh. Such a great song. This was beginning to be the time, as I've said before, that I was kind of not as into some of the top 40 music, but
all of these are good. Here.
I do not know the system. Do not disturb this groove.
What?
I don't know that song. How does it go?
You definitely
number 7
song.
I don't.
You
think
definitely know. Yes, you do.
Sing it for me.
I can't sing it for you. It's like it's too. I can't sing it for you. I can't do that one. But it's very like soulish. Like,
I don't think I know. I will go and listen. I don't think I do.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you.
I do love number 10. Won't you take me to Funky Town?
That's why I'm like, if you know Funky Town, you know Do Not Disturb the Groove.
I don't know. And Kenny G's Songbird, which was
Don't
at
know that.
number 5, that must have just been a sax solo.
Ugh, that grosses me out. I'm sorry if you're a sax player, but I simply cannot with that. I
Now, I'm not a fan of Kenny G, but I sure liked Rob Lowe playing the sax in
Yeah, but I
whatever
wouldn't have
that
bought his
movie was.
record.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I do love number 4.
Head to toe.
You know that, don't
Love
you?
ya from head to toe. When I first looked at it, I thought I didn't, but then it came to me quickly.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm
I
not
think this
sure
is a
I
good
know
list.
number 6 in too deep either.
Oh yeah, you do. Um, you know I
Usually you're
love
singing
you,
it up.
but I just can't take
Oh
this.
yeah, I did
You
remember
know
that
I want
before
you,
we came
but
on.
I'm in too
Too
deep.
deep. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then just to see her Smokey Robinson. I love Smokey Robinson.
Yeah. Oh, he's a good one.
He is a good one.
This is a great one for our these songs connect to my Do You Remember?
Oh, good.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. All right. What about television?
Okay, sorry. I just looked up Don't Disturb This Groove because I will be sharing it and you will have to come back and say, because we have the facts right here, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I totally know that song.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not even gonna talk about the number 1 show because it doesn't even matter. There were so
Is it
many.
one of the 3 though? I mean, I
Yes,
have to
there's
know.
so many that are good and it just doesn't even matter. So I'm going to just skip right on into the TV guide because I am seeing some big time shows that are catching my attention,
Okay.
such as Miami Vice.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't know that I've ever seen a whole episode of Miami.
wait, are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. Again, that was like my senior year into college, and I wasn't home on Friday night.
You know what?
Hmm.
I would love to see if you can stream Miami Vice anywhere because I think it was a good show. Like I'm kind of like I think Eric
Really,
and I would watch it.
really. Now I loved the show. It was maybe similar, but it was like in the early '80s or late '70s with um, it wasn't Starsky and Hutch, but Chips.
Oh yeah.
I loved Chips, which kind of reminds me of maybe what Miami Vice was,
No, I
except
think Miami Vice
motorcycles
was
versus boats.
yeah, but I think Miami Vice was more like darker and like more I don't know.
More sophisticated.
Joe, I really do. Like I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think no, I really do. I
Yeah,
think it
I
was
know
like a
you mean it.
legit good show.
Okay.
I want to see if we can watch it somewhere.
That might be a
Um,
good birthday present. I could get you the entire
no, I do not need that.
middle
Would you
of.
calm down? Also, I see Webster. It's definitely in syndication on this TV guide, but I loved what do you remember Webster?
Yes, he
Little
was the
Webster?
cutest
Emmanuel
thing. Oh my
Lewis?
gosh, he was so cute.
I was obsessed with Webster. There were so many little kids in shows back then.
Yeah, there were. You
If
you
you were a little
hardly see it
I
anymore.
know, well,
Actually, we haven't even talked about that, but you really don't.
nope, not unless you're on Nickelodeon or Disney or
Yeah,
something.
but I guess they have channels for them. Well, what stood out to me is, and I've mentioned it before, but Santa Barbara with Cruz Castillo
Castillo, Cruz Castillo.
and Eden, Cruz and Eden.
I have to tell you, for when something shows up on your feed, it
Uh-huh.
like if you click on or whatever, you're going to get more.
The
Eric,
algorithm.
the algorithm. Eric has been getting these hilarious, like he gets tons of Days of Our Lives stuff,
Yeah, you've sent me a couple
and
things.
he sends it to me and Kelly and Allison all well, Kelly, y'all know, lifelong friend, but Allison, college friend. We all became friends in college, and we are all Days of Our Lives people. But in particularly Allison, shout
Hmm.
out because she knows her Days of Our Lives like seriously. She was watching it from a very young age,
Uh-huh.
and we it's just like we just roll. It is absolutely hysterical. And the things she'll remember and we'll be like, oh my gosh, that's right.
Oh my gosh, sister, I've got a great idea.
What?
We should watch like one big episode of Days of Our Lives, like the wedding of Bo and
Bo and
Hope or
Hope.
something, and rewind it and get Allison to come on with us.
That would be she is a treasure trove of Days of Our Lives knowledge. Like,
Okay.
seriously.
Throw that out to her and we'll see what we can do.
She knows it all. It's hysterical, really and truly. I mean, she
Well-
remembers Pete, Melissa, shenanigans, Chris Kosnichek,
Oh
like
yeah.
the whole thing.
Well, let's move on to People magazine because it seems like it's kind of vanilla. Like
Yeah,
the
I don't even know
top
these
is
people.
like June Bride's 10 Wonderful Ways to Say I Do with this cute little bride showing her garter belt. But there's this woman, an older woman, and a gentleman who looks a little bit like Liberace or something.
I think it looks like Stefano DiMera from Days of
Kinda
Our
look like
Lives.
Stefano DiMera. But you may have to grab this image and put it on social, Amanda. But it's the Bess Meyerson scandal. And actually I did some research and it came to be known as the Bess mess. But she
Can
was
I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When you saw this, did you have to do some research because you were like, who is Bess?
Yes, like I
that's
have
what
no
I'm thinking.
idea. But
Okay.
it actually says the Bess Meyerson scandal, Miss America and Mr. Wrong. The shocking story of how her love for a criminal led our most famous beauty queen to disgrace. Now, why was she our most famous beauty queen at the time? In 1945, she was the first Jewish Miss America. She actually grew up and became the NYC Cultural Affairs Commissioner, so she was into some politics. And she was accused of conspiring with her lover, a sewer contractor, Carl Andrew Capasso, to bribe a judge to lower his divorce alimony. And there were some other things in her scandal. She was accused of hiring somebody to more about espionage and estranged wives and all of that.
And shoplifting.
But she got arrested for shoplifting in 1988, which would have been a year after this broke. And she was arrested. Now, how stupid can you be? She was arrested for shoplifting $44.07 worth of jewelry and cosmetics from a store in Pennsylvania. And she later settled.
It reminds me of Winona Ryder. Girl.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Some people get a thrill out of it.
So odd. Wow. Bess, girl.
The Bess mess.
Never knew. Well, she's right there on the cover.
I mean,
of
she made the cover of People magazine. That's pretty big
Bess
deal.
Was a disgrace to the pageant world, clearly.
It looks like they would have had a picture of her up there with
her crown.
Yeah, but I guess.
I mean, between her and Vanessa, whatever her name is,
Williams.
I mean, between those two,
watch out, Miss America. They could have taken the
pageant world down.
Taking it down. Taking it down.
All right. Do you remember? I have a do you remember? Can I start?
Sure.
Do you remember? I know this isn't completely obsolete now, but in the 80s, it was definitely more of a thing.
Okay, I'm listening.
Do you remember spending money to buy posters for your bedroom? And your friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My friend Linda Hyatt, we kind of got to be friends, like because we were in the same like 7th grade homeroom or something like that. That would make sense, right? Like Missy Gowan, Linda Hyatt, GH. We got to be friends. She lived out in Bellevue. Our listeners are going to laugh at this, but where Pearlie and her mom lived, Linda Hyatt lived out on 589.
Yeah.
And I remember her bedroom kind of freaked me out because she
Why?
was a huge Queen fan.
Oh,
And to me, back in that time, like the pictures of like Freddie Mercury on this, like huge posters.
yeah.
It,
And you probably
it,
weren't a huge Queen fan then.
no, I wasn't. I would have probably at that time thought it was like, rock and roll. I don't know, but I remember it freaked me out. But I remember Tiger Beat, and they would have the free posters, and I would always get them out, and I
Yep.
would put them on the back of my bedroom door, just a
Yep.
little bit taller than me, so I could practice kissing whoever it was. Like not literally, like, but just
Yeah.
like get on my toes and like kiss Scott Baio or kiss Andy Gibbs.
That is
Do
hysterical.
you
And
remember any particular posters?
yeah, so Whitney Houston was one.
Oh,
I
yeah, I
had
was past posters by then.
a fabulous Whitney Houston poster in
Mm.
my room and in the old house. And I remember not so much getting them out of magazines, but like going and you would go to the store and they would have them on the rack thing where you could like flip through them.
Yeah, now they're all rolled up with like pictures on the.
Well, I was going to say, still have that though. You have to find the number and then go find the roll. And I know y'all, they still sell posters, but it's not a thing
It
like
isn't
it
a thing,
was
right?
then. It's in particular with famous people,
Yeah,
like
true.
your like singers and movie stars.
Yep,
So that's my
that's a
do you
good one.
remember?
That's a good one. Okay, I've got one, and I thought of this because I was riding with my husband in his truck, and his truck Ford F-150 is always immaculate. Okay.
Mm,
And so I was thinking about my first car, the Cougar. And I
the
was,
Coug.
yeah. And I was thinking there were times where I would literally like have to push cassettes off of seats because you'd take a cassette and you'd like push it, eject it and throw it and grab another one. And you'd do all that while you were
We're
driving,
driving.
which
Yeah,
is
you had to be
probably,
quick. You had
yeah.
to be quick.
But just I wondered if do you remember having cassette tapes kind of, and now you had the cases, right?
I was
Like
going to
there
say,
was,
I remember the cases.
they had the cases, but when you were solo driving or you were
You had to be
trying to get
quick.
to the next song, you had to switch that cassette right on out
Yep. And you
and
would just throw it on the seat.
throw it on the seat, throw it on the floor, in the console.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I bet you ruined I bet some cassettes got ruined like that.
Oh, but
People
you could
sitting
put
on
your
them,
finger in them most of the time and tweak,
just
tweak, tweak, tweak,
yep,
tweak, tweak. Yep.
or a pencil eraser,
Or
just
a pencil eraser. Yep.
yep, just fix them right up.
All right. Well, let's get into the details of Adventures in Babysitting, sister.
Okay, let's do that. It was a film directed by Chris Columbus, making this his directorial debut. After already writing some of our favorites like Gremlins and The Goonies.
I know
And
we've got to do the Goonies on
oh,
here.
we have to. And the screenplay for our movie was written by David Simkins. I was about to say Simpkins. Simpkins.
I have a little trivia that I just got. I was looking at some trivia just before we started recording, and actually Spielberg was going to executive produce this because to make sure Chris Columbus got the gig,
Hmm.
but Chris didn't need him, so he didn't. How
I
about
could
that?
see. I also could see this being the type of movie that Steven Spielberg would have his hand in.
Yeah,
Like it seems like
absolutely.
something that he would be
I agree.
interested in doing.
Yeah. Well, the movie stars Elizabeth Shue as Chris
Mm.
Parker, and I have to say again that she is so naturally beautiful, and it runs in her family because her brother Andrew Shue
Is
very
a
much
cutie.
favors her, and I remember just thinking that I loved him.
He's really good looking too.
Yeah, he
Yep.
is really great. And this movie, it was one of, although she had other roles by this time, roles that we all know, this movie was really, it established her as a forerunner star in the 80s.
Yes, for sure. She also had great hair for the 80s. I
She
mean, just got great.
did. I
It was
was
like
thinking it would be great hair now.
just cut, like it was just cut in a way. It was so cute and just like you could just wash that hair and go, girl.
It seems like it for sure.
It was
Gosh,
really
she's
cute.
gorgeous. That smile. Mm.
Oh, you also have Maya Bruton as Sarah, the little girl she's babysitting.
Yes.
Also in Parker Lewis Can't Lose and even Back to the Future.
She won I think she won an award for like best young actress or something for Parker Can't
For
Lose.
Parker Lewis Can't Lose?
Yeah, Parker Lewis. I don't even remember that, but I think it was kind of a thing for kids, wasn't it?
I mean, it had kids in the show, but it wasn't just a kid show.
Well, then we have Keith Coogan as Brad. And I have to say, when you watch this movie, you know you've seen these people in other things.
For sure.
And
For
I was
sure.
getting out my IMDb app and checking. And he's been on a lot of things. He went from Adventures in Babysitting to Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter is Dead years later. But we've got some award winners here because was it Maya? Is how you pronounce her name, Maya Bruton or Mia Bruton?
Yeah.
She had won like a best girl in a comedy, and then as a young girl, and he was a winner of a Young Artist Award for. Are you ready for this? The best young actor guest on a series. They are really stretching to give some awards there, but he was on Knight Rider. I bet he was so excited to see Kit. Don't you know, like as a young kid?
Okay, time out. Why have we not had Knight Rider come up in our TV guide?
I don't know.
Knight Rider was amazing.
We've talked about it, I know, but you're right. You know why? Is because that TV guide is usually on a Friday. And sometimes I'll go and find images before and after, but it just hasn't. But yeah, I don't remember what Knight Rider.
We need to talk a little bit more about Knight Rider because that show was was
iconic.
There was a lot there.
There was a lot there.
Oh, that's funny. Well, Anthony Rapp played Daryl.
Another one that you're like, I've seen him on so many things.
Absolutely. And let's see, a very young Vincent I don't know how to say his last name. Onfrio. He appeared as the mechanic who really looked just like Sarah's hero, Thor.
Yes, he was a cutie on this movie. But Amanda, if he looked familiar, he was the yuck guy from Men in Black. That Edgar, who the whole time he's like shedding and he gets.
I would have never guessed it.
It's in his eyes, yeah. You have Penelope Ann Miller, who plays Brenda, and I have to say the whole situation is it launches all the chaos for the night, but I love that part of the movie. I know we'll talk about it. But I had been trying to think, Penelope Ann Miller, do you remember the last, it's the last
thing I saw her in?
I saw her in We Saw Together.
I don't remember.
Just Say No.
What is that?
She played Nancy Reagan with
she sure did.
Played in Reagan, yeah. But she played in a Lifetime movie. I've been trying to research it all day. She played in a Lifetime movie where she was this girl married to this rich guy, and he was like not great. And she fell in love with the contractor who was redoing their house, and she and the contractor killed the husband, and then she ends up with cancer at the end. And I cannot find this, but I know it was her. But I like to watch her.
That sounds like a good one, Lifetime. Bring it back.
She actually also played Mary Kay Letourneau on a TV series.
She sure did. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I had in my mind because she reminds me a little bit of, just a little bit, not the same, but reminds me of Naomi, what's her face?
Yeah, I can see that.
From Love Story.
Yeah. We also had Bradley Whitford, who plays Mike, and he's done so many roles as
So
well. He's a
much.
great character actor. I think he's best known for his role in West Wing.
Definitely. That's one I could probably stream and watch too. That'd be good.
Yeah,
The West Wing.
not 80s.
No, I'm just thinking about old shows. Okay, so George Newbern plays Dan, and we meet him at the frat house.
Such a cutie sweetie.
Yes, he is from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, he's a Southern boy.
And was in Father of the Bride.
Yes. Yes.
It is rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 42 minutes.
Perfect. I will say I did pause it in the middle to see how much time was left. Even though I love this movie, it maybe could have been a little shorter. We'll talk about that during it. But the budget for the film was around $7 million, and it brought in more than $34 million at the box office. People loved them some adventures in babysitting, so it was a solid success.
This was a good movie to come out in the summer too.
Oh yeah,
because you could take the kids. The babysitter could take the kids.
Take a whole bunch of kids. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are no major awards. Except for the 1988 winner of the Young Artist Award.
Oh, that's the one I was trying to think of earlier. That is what Maya won.
Best Young Actress in a Motion Picture or Comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was great.
Yeah, she really was a good little actress.
Yeah.
And my hands were sweating when she was on the outside of it.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, over the years, this really has become a beloved 80s favorite and one of the most memorable teen comedies of the decade.
Oh, I would definitely say it would be up there. All right, real fans, grab the keys, crank the station wagon, and expect the unexpected. It's time for Adventures in Babysitting. All right, sister, take us away.
Okay, so this might be one of the best opening sequences
oh my gosh.
of any 80s movie.
So good. You are right.
We open up with the music playing for "And Then He Kissed Me," and she is getting ready for a big date while she is singing and dancing to the music.
It's an anniversary date, isn't it? And
yes.
She's all dolled up.
And it's so cute. She's doing the cutest dance and playing into it, and you can tell she's so excited, and she gets her dress, and you can tell they're going somewhere nice because the dress she gets out is fancy.
It is fancy. I love that dress, and I think I had something kind of similar to it.
I'm sure.
With that dropped waist and that short skirt. I'm almost positive that I did. Another movie opened with that song. Was it My Best Friend's Wedding?
Maybe.
I'm going to research that.
But it was so cute because she was dancing and singing to it. Mm-hmm. And as soon as the song ends, the doorbell rings. She goes down because she's thinks he's here to pick her up. And he's dressed in jeans and a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh no, I'm overdressed." He's like, "Oh, sorry. Got to break it to you. My sister's really sick and I'm not going to be able to go to the French restaurant tonight." And so she's, of course, super disappointed, but she's very sweet, understands, no problem. They plan to go the next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the catalyst, really, for which sets off how this even all unfolds. Because she was supposed to be on a date with him. But instead she gets called. She's in her room hanging out with her friend Brenda, lamenting about how upset she is about missing the date.
And it doesn't seem like Brenda much likes Chris either.
No. And her mom comes in and is like, "Hey, Chris, can you babysit for the so-and-sos?" I can't remember their last name. And she doesn't want to. And did you notice how she said, "I'm too old for this"?
Oh, yeah.
I think I'd missed that when I was younger because I was always she did seem I was like, is she in high school or is she not? Because
we find out later though.
Right. Because the guy that was going to the guy, Mike, taking her on the date, I I thought seemed older than high school. And
Yeah.
so I was always kind of confused. I was like,
Yeah.
wait,
So
what?
I have a correction. You know, you can come here to get the facts. So I want to make sure I'm clear. I said that Brenda didn't like Chris that much, but that's not who it was. It was Mike.
Yeah.
It's Mike.
Mike. Sorry. Yeah,
Mike,
Mike's the
also
boyfriend.
played by Bradley Whitford. He was allowed to use his own Camaro for the movie. And it is the one that has the license plate So Cool, which is the actual license plate Bradley had on his car.
No way.
Yeah.
How embarrassed. I wonder if he was embarrassed because they like make it a joke in the
They
movie.
do make it a joke. I don't know. People can get some wild license plates. We had a cousin who got a Porsche and put on the back of the Porsche on his license plate, be jammin',
Also,
be
I
jammin'.
also will say the girls and I have noticed we do think that people in Mississippi specifically versus our being here in Louisiana love a personalized license plate.
I always wanted one. I still do. Like I'll
Yeah,
sometimes
you're
like think about what I would want on it, like
girl, get you one. That's funny. Well, anyway, so she reluctantly agrees. She goes over to babysit and everything's great. She's babysitting for Sarah, the little sister, or I shouldn't
mhm,
say little, the little girl. She's
mhm.
a little sister to her older brother, Brad.
Right.
And I was also like, why didn't Brad just watch her?
I was too.
But then the mom said Brad's going to stay at his friend.
Yep.
What's his name? I just said his name.
Daryl.
Daryl. He's going to stay with Daryl. I was like, okay, cool, got it. Well, Brad has a huge crush on Chris, and
I think he and
they
Daryl both
both
do.
right, but
Yeah.
specifically Brad, like he's
Right.
like not gonna go spend the night at Daryl's because she's
He's
there,
not
which
missing out on spending time with the babysitter.
right, which is then hilarious. Like, how are you gonna work that out? But anyway, Daryl gets wind that Chris is there to babysit, so he's like, I'm staying over here too. Well, they're hanging out, getting settled for the night when they get a phone call. She gets a phone call from her friend Brenda at the bus station in downtown Chicago.
And Brenda was lamenting when they were in her room about some of her issues at home and her life, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I think she has a stepmom or something.
Right, right.
And these kids live in the suburbs of Chicago, like the nice suburbs. They don't live.
Another Chicago movie.
Mm-hmm. They do not live in the city. They're not. You can tell that that's like a special trip to go to the city by the way they talk. So Brenda
And now
calls.
when we were growing up, we would say we're going to town.
We're going to town. Yeah.
And town was Hattiesburg from Oak Grove. It was
Right.
about 12 minutes.
But it was a day trip. So she calls from the bus station. She's telling her she's finally run away, and there's all these crazy shenanigans happen at the bus station. And she's like, you have got to come get me. Of course, Chris is like, I can't come get you. I'm babysitting.
I'm driving my mom's
car. Yeah, my mom's station wagon. Like, I can't drive into the city to get you. Well, of course, real fans, we know Chris is a good friend. So she takes one for the team. All the kids load up and they head to the city to pick up Brenda.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Okay,
go ahead. I'll say something
I was just
later.
going to say, I hope I remember some of these things, like as we go, if I don't just interject, because there's some funny things that happen with Brenda that's like interwoven into the storyline.
Well, I think even right there on that phone call, like she's in a phone booth, which by the way, you never see.
I was about to say, which by the way, do you remember?
Do you remember? And she is, she looks down and there's like this man shaving kid in his house shoes and some pajama pants, and he's beating on the outside of it. Get out of my house, get out of my house. And then another crazy fool in the bus station is pulling out was it a gun or a knife?
But I think it was a gun, but I don't think it was a real gun.
It's funny.
Yeah. So she was freaking out. She had made a mistake. So they end up driving out to driving into the city. Well, of course, the first thing goes wrong. Flat tire.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal, because Chris is like, no problem. We're just going to get someone to help us. I've got money. We will get, a new tire. No problem. Well, come to find out, they can't do that because she has left her purse at home. So she is really freaking out because she has no identification, no money, nothing.
I mean, and it was a really big deal then because you have nothing.
You have nothing. Now, if you have your phone, you can, I've got Apple Pay. I've got there's
right.
I can call somebody. No,
the good news is if she could get to a phone, she would know what number to dial.
That's right, girl, because you had those babies
memorized.
But she didn't. They didn't want to call. She wanted to try to take care of it. So about this time, a tow truck driver pulls up, and his name is John Pruitt, and he has a hook for a hand. And she had just been telling a story in the car to scare the kids about a man with the hook. Like a fun
story.
Yeah. Anyway, he's got a hook. And so they're not sure if he's a good guy or a bad guy, but they don't really have any other option. He says he's going to tow them to his garage, get them a tire, and put them on their way, even though they don't have money to pay for it. He's cool with that.
He actually said, I'll take care of it.
Yeah. He was like, oh, yeah. We think. I mean, and he is ultimately.
He seems to be a nice guy with a hook for a hand.
Yes, but he looks a little, yeah. So before they make it to the tow shop, or maybe they're right there at the tow shop, he discovers his wife is with another man.
Mm-hmm.
And a whole fight breaks out. And in this chaos, the kids jump into this other car. Well, the car takes off and they figure out that the car's been stolen.
I know.
There's a guy like hot wiring the car who is stolen. But
there's something about him from the very first that he's a good guy. I don't know why. Just the way he smiles.
His smile. It's his smile.
And he's got a gentleness about him, even though he's a car thief.
Yes, and he says, even when they're like, sir, Chris is like, sir, just let us out. He's like, not in this neighborhood. Right. So he's a good guy, or he would have just.
And I love it when she says, promise me you won't hurt these children.
Yes. Exactly. So so really, he's very comforting. He's like, y'all are going to be fine. Don't worry.
I'm going to take y'all to the garage.
And he pulls into the garage, and you immediately know from all the stuff going on in the garage that it's like a, what do you call those places where they, like a chop shop?
Oh, is that what it's called? I always think of that Tom Cruise movie where they're bringing those cars in and redoing them.
Is that Rayman? Yes. No, this is a chop shop. They're going to take it apart for the parts and sell it. So he thinks no big deal. And the kids get out of the car, and all of a sudden, it's bad. There's bad guys there meeting. They're mad because now the kids know where the garage is. It's a whole kit and caboodle.
But wait a minute. And I may be getting ahead of myself. When do they actually go to Dawson's garage and meet Vincent D'Onofrio that's the Thor character?
That's not till the end.
No, she sees him at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, you're right. She does see him at the beginning. That's what I'm saying. Before the fight breaks out,
right,
with Dawson, because Dawson sees not Dawson,
Pruitt. As they're at Dawson's,
yeah, Pruitt. That's when he catches the wife and all that. That's when all those shenanigans.
Well, I need to know because I have a fascinating fact to share.
We'll share it, girl.
In the early draft of the script, the Dawson garage owner was written to be played by an extremely, and this is the way it was written in the script, an extremely unfeminine woman. And it was going to be humor back and forth between Sarah and Brad's confusion over was it a man
If it was a man or a woman.
was it a woman? Yes.
That's funny.
But
That would have been funny.
They changed it, and
be-
they played into Sarah's fascination with comic book heroes, which actually came because of Christopher Columbus's, the director's, love of Marvel comics.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
He wrote that into the movie, and he was actually considering being a comic book artist for Marvel at one point, but he decided not to because it's isolating, and he preferred to work with people.
With people.
Yeah.
Well, another running theme that shows up, we already saw like a peek of it earlier, but it really starts to show up in this part where they find themselves in the garage, is there is a Playgirl magazine or Playboy magazine, my bad, Playboy magazine. And there is a spread inside with a girl that looks exactly like Chris.
Yes.
And so everybody thinks, like, throughout the whole story, there are encounters with people thinking she's the person in the magazine.
Right.
It's really funny.
Let me tell you, the magazine itself was, of course, it was just a prop made for the movie.
Of course.
But they actually took Elizabeth Shue to the Playboy Mansion and did the non-nude, of course, photo shoots. And Elizabeth Shue kept the Playboy magazines, or at least one of the mock-ups. I know there were several in the movie, and they probably made several for props, but she took one afterward, and she still has it.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, because the pictures you see there, you don't see any skin or anything, but it's funny because it is a reoccurring theme in the movie.
Yeah.
And they see when they get put in the office
of the chop shop. Yep.
When they escape, they take a copy of the magazine with them.
Because one of the kids had it, and then it got thrown out the window.
Yes. So he
was like, I'm going to take this because it was my dad's. He said, that was my dad's magazine.
It was Daryl.
That's right.
So they took it. Little did they know there were some important things in that magazine, which is now
mean people at the chop shop wanted back.
Yeah. So now the people at the chop shop are after them, not just because they saw where it was, but because they stole the magazine.
Yeah.
Totally not realizing what they were doing. So this is when they find themselves. This is one of probably the most, one of the most famous 80s scenes in 80s movies.
Yes, it is. And one of my favorites.
They find themselves in the Blues Club when they're on the run.
Nobody leaves without singing the blues.
They try to run across the stage and get stopped. And Chris is like, he wants me to sing. And Daryl's like, then sing.
Da-da-na-na-na.
And so she just starts explaining what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And you all know how it turns into the babysitting blues.
Baby.
The babysitting blues, baby. And they, every time I watch it, I forget how funny that part really is, because she's so not into it at first. And as it goes on, she really starts getting into it, and the kids start getting into it. It's really, really funny.
And it's so hard taking care of these guys.
So anyway, they make it after they sing their song. They let them go through, and then the bad guys come, and they're like, nobody
leaves
without singing the blues. So then they're stuck. So we're like, great, they're going to get away. Well, not so soon, because they end up on the subway. And I hope I get all of these things in order, because there's so many things that happen. I'm not going to hit on every single one. But there is a subway fight, because they're on the subway, and it's such a Michael Jackson video. There's one side coming up wearing their colors, another side coming up wearing their colors, and they're like flipping their knives. And all of a sudden, Chris stands up and is like, wait, just wait. And she talks them, she's trying to talk them down, and he flicks his knife and it goes into Brad's foot.
Goes into his toe. So now they're heading to
the hospital, of course. Now, I'm going to go ahead and interject here, and I don't know if this is exactly where, but like I said, it's interwoven throughout the movie because it goes back and forth to Brenda. There's a part where it goes back to Brenda to check on her, and a couple of things happen. One, she puts her glasses down to rub her eyes, and the homeless lady sitting beside her grabs them and puts them on and walks away with them. And Brenda puts her sunglasses on, so now Brenda cannot see. So
it's priceless. It's so good.
And she totally freaks out. Well, she starts walking towards the Coke machine and sees this little thing on the floor and thinks it's a cat.
She sees a little kitten, sister.
A little kitten. And it's like, come here, baby. Come here, kitty. And it's holding it. Next thing you know, the animal whatever people, prevention people come and they're like, lady, drop the animal.
I think they're exterminators.
Exterminators then. And she's like, no. Anyway, it's a huge rat. And they show it, and she's holding a rat in her arms, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, she is. But it isn't the kind of rat, honestly, that would really be in a bus station. The kind of rat that would be in a bus station is like a brown, it's a white.
The kind you see on the subways in New York. It gives me the chills when I'm oh.
Me too. It
just like being near them.
Does,
it's so gross. But anyway, so that was like a funny sidebar going on with Brenda. And so they go to the hospital to get his foot fixed, and then they head to Dawson's garage to pick up their car. But they don't have all the money that they need.
And he's not letting it go without the $50.
Yeah, without the $50. They do so when they don't have the $50, and so they do meet. They end up walking down the street to a frat party, and that's where we meet the really nice college boy, Dan. And
really cute as well.
Yes, he is a cutie.
She asked him if she can borrow money, and he gives it to her. $45. He's $5 short.
Yeah, he's like, sure, no problem. Like, so sweet. And the fraternity brothers totally think she's the girl in the magazine, in the Playboy.
They're everybody's looking at her and talking about it. And she's still oblivious to it. She's not seen the Playboy yet.
Right, but they show her here, and she's like, that is not me.
Right, that's what I mean. But she did not know it until they finally came up and talked to her.
Right. And of course, Dan believes her and is like, that's not her. He's really cute. He kind of has an Andrew McCarthy look to me.
He does.
Mm-hmm. So she gets.
Speaking of Andrew McCarthy, it makes me think of Breakfast Club and all of that. And I will tell you that they made Anthony Rapp, who plays the brother,
Brad.
They make him dye his naturally blonde hair red for the movie. I thought it was weird to have two redhead friends in the movie, but they made him do that because they were concerned that his blonde hair would remind audiences too much of Andrew Michael Hall.
Andrew Michael Hall could have played that part.
Yeah, he could have.
I mean, I hate to say it, but he could have.
All right, so we're leaving the frat party. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Sorry, so they leave the frat party, and it's interesting because one thing that I will say, a little dynamic that happens, because you remember Brad has such a crush on Chris. Mm-hmm. Throughout all of these things happening, there's been a discovery of he is beginning to realize that she is too old for him, but she also is beginning to realize, have a respect for him.
Right, like he's a cool kid.
Yeah,
he's cool.
Exactly. Yeah. And this kind of starts to show up around the time they're at the frat house. Mm-hmm. So anyway, they get to go get their car, and they start to drive home when they see So Cool's Camaro. outside of the French restaurant
The
where
very restaurant they were
they
going to
were
go
supposed
to.
to go.
Yep.
So she just marches herself right on in there with the whole group and pretty much tells him off,
Yes, she
tells Mike
does.
off, and it's great. And Brad tells him off, and then Daryl ends up kicking him, and he falls. It makes a huge. He falls into the table and gets food everywhere. It's a big scene, but it's also like a good. I love that because it makes the whole full circle of Mike is a jerk, and
Yep.
she's too good for him.
Absolutely.
So this is when they leave and realize, where is Sarah? Well, the bad guys have found Sarah and they're chasing her. So this is when they end up.
When my palms got ready to
They end
sweat a
up.
lot.
The little girl's trying to get away, Sarah, and she sees the building that her dad works in. So she's headed there, and she ends up climbing up to the top where the bad guys follow her. Long story short, she ends up dangling off.
Just talking about it right now, my hands
Me
are
too. My
sweating.
hands are sweating, dangling off the side of the building. Of course, she feels like she's like living the superhero life.
Yeah, she's Thor.
Yeah, and they have a rope out the window, and she's like, oh my gosh, pulling herself up, and it's so, or not pulling herself up, but she's like dangling, it's like she's walking on the side of the building, and it is so scary. And all the while this is happening, they're seeing the parents inside the building.
They actually ended up in the parents' party.
At the party.
Yep.
But don't worry, because Sarah does get rescued.
I have to say one other thing, because this is one of the scenes where you can see it. It's another homage. So Sarah is wearing a backpack.
Yes.
And it's got a picture of Gizmo on it.
Oh, yes.
And it's a reference to Gremlins, which was written by Chris Columbus.
That is excellent. I love that. Another thing I was going to say, I'm glad you brought that up, because this part where they're all she's on the side of the building is where when you pull this movie up and you see the cover art for the movie.
Yeah.
You see it. And kind of similar to how I said, oh, this opening scene of this movie is one of the like best of all. The cover art for Adventures in Babysitting is so well done. It's so like perfect for what this movie is. Mm-hmm. And it's very unique and so recognizable. So yeah, true. It kind of goes along with that idea of like the gremlin on the backpack and that whole scene.
Yeah.
Because it's such a hot mess.
It is a hot mess.
So they do.
But it wasn't Bess's mess.
No, it
from
wasn't.
People magazine.
This is another Ferris Bueller's Day Off situation.
Ferris Bueller. I actually feel a little Ferris Bueller-ish when they're in the police station with the bus station. That reminds me of Ferris Bueller. And then this does as well. And also Risky Business, because at the end of Risky Business,
they're trying to make it home before the parents.
So they're racing home.
They're racing home. They do make it home.
They do get Brenda.
They do that. Oh, you're right. I totally forgot. They do pick up Brenda. They pick up Brenda just in the nick of time. But Brenda does get her glasses back too. Thank goodness.
Does.
And they get the kids home, get them in bed seconds before the parents walk through the door.
Yep. And she's just looking at a magazine.
Uh-huh.
Just like everything's been calm all night.
Yeah, like, hey, the kids have been great.
Yeah. Daryl stayed the night over.
Yeah, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part, because this movie does such a great job of bringing everything full
Ties
circle.
It all up in a bow.
As she's leaving to get in her mom's station wagon, Dan shows up to the house.
The frat boy who gave her the money.
She's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I thought I would to return this. And it's Sarah's skate with her address on it.
But he said, I'm looking for a babysitter. And she said, I'm retiring, or I'm too old for that, or something. She said something really clever at the end. It just left me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And they kiss, and Then He Kissed Me music came on again.
I know. It was great.
Really, really cute. And you're like, oh, that's the kind of guy she needs to be with.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And that no, maybe it's at the fraternity house. We figure out she's a senior, like getting ready to graduate.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he said she was the prettiest girl on campus and she's not even on campus.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, sister. Well, what do you think? I think I know the answer. I think the real fans already know the answer right now. Does it measure up?
100%.
Yeah, so good. I did pause it in the middle of the movie because it had been a part where like they finally got the car back and they were like happy or they were thinking they were going to get the car back and they saw somebody, they were happy. And I was like, oh, this is about to end. And I paused it and it still had about 40 minutes.
There were a lot of shenanigans left
We
to
had
happen.
some more shenanigans and I enjoyed every bit of the shenanigans. I definitely think it's a great movie. It stands the test of time. I mean, they have done a remake of it. I haven't watched it.
Me neither, and I won't.
And I won't. We're going to stay with the 80s.
Yeah, no reason in doing that.
No reason. Well, that wraps up Adventures in Babysitting, sister.
That's right. Let's start our clues for our next movie.
Okay.
All right, our first clue. This film follows a family facing a major role reversal at home.
Second clue. The main character has to learn a whole new set of daily skills.
The third clue. Breakfast, laundry, and chaos all become part of the job.
That's right. And before you go, if you're loving the podcast, we would be so grateful if you would leave us a 5-star review, subscribe, share, all the stuff, and send it over to another real fan.
Oh, that would be amazing. And don't forget, if you want one of our Real Sister stickers, just take a screenshot of your review and email it to hello@realsistersrewind.com.
And we'll see you next week as we go back into the 80s. Bye, y'all. Bye, sister.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.